All right, hello again, everybody. It's Russ here with yet another one. So this morning, I am going to not only okay respond to you know who again, but I'm also gonna see. Yeah, it's gonna be another Bridget review. All right, so L.A. Under Siege, Illusionist Rebel, disturbing review. What's this?
I have a serious problem in my throat, my friend.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, I have gonorrhea.
Oh, yeah?
And it's really agitating me, and I can't eat my sandwich. God damn it. Have you tried not being nasty? Yeah, right there. Okay, let's try it. Mexican Americans don't like to...
Okay.
Chong is part Korean. Yes, he is. He is part Korean.
Mm-hmm.
Could have fooled me, but then you look a little bit closer and you see it. That's right. You know, in my lab, I study these things. So today we're going to be taking a look at the siege of Los Angeles by illegal aliens. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now listen.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of that, yeah, and why is it only important because it's Los Angeles? Like, that goes on. There's illegal aliens all over the place, not just there. But why does it only matter because it's LA? Whatever.
Oh my God. Today's
Okay.
That's the most people that ever watch you is me, are the replays of me watching you. That's all the views you get are from me, motherfucker.
Wait.
Views on 2 videos, bro.
Wait.
I saw Russ Russ, stop trying to flip it. Like, you had 20 whole views on 2 videos, bro. I watch you. That's the most people that ever watch you is me, are the replays of me watching you. That's all the views you get are from me, motherfucker.
It might be that way now, but it wasn't that way back in the day before I became aware of who you even were.
You understand that, right? So, and don't think that last night wasn't duly noted and documented. Oh, I know you're probably like, ooh. Let me find somebody who will work on contingency, and I will make you know whose lawsuits look like a firecracker to a nuke. Okay?
I'm sure.
The shit you said was wrong. You need to take it back. You need to apologize.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. You're not getting an apology from me with everything that you and DC have put me through. Hell no.
And move on from that. You 150 feet deep under.
Yeah, okay. Keep telling yourself that. No, I am not apologizing to you or to DC for anything. Since day one, the both of you have relentlessly been trying to make my life a living fucking hell, and you failed at every turn, and you're mad that you failed at every turn. And that's not my problem. That's your problem.
Paperwork. Okay? Keep it in bounds. No flagrant fouls. You don't know how to play with us. This is why we don't like your weird.
I don't want to play with you. I don't. Quite frankly, I'm sick and fucking tired of continuing to go back and forth with you. I only do it because I feel like I have no other choice.
Grape fantasy having ass. Fucking stupid moron.
Okay, well then, you know what? From now on going forward, whenever I do a video about you, just ignore it. Don't even bother responding to it. There's an idea.
You think it's coming out of his mouth? Yeah, he should be. He should be ashamed of the things that he's thinking. You got to think that to say it, right? Like if I want to tell you that you smell like ass, I got to think about that first, right? Don't I? Don't I have to like kind of be like, damn, you know, in my head, I'm going, it smell like ass. And then, you know, in Russ's head, in the middle of a review, he's like, I mean, out of nowhere. So, like, that was heavy on your brain, and it was like it needed to come out. So,
what are you talking about? No.
But again, I'm going to be on the lookout because your dumbass has done enough. So, it's not a threat. It's you slandered, you lied, you defamed.
I've done enough. I've done enough. You've done more than enough to me.
And now, like everybody else that you laugh at, you might have to pay. So, but we're not here to talk about you today because you're a disgusting fucking person.
I might have to pay. I might have to pay. Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm waiting to see what happens. Waiting to see what happens.
And if he comes in here, he has to be blocked on sight. He has to be put into the abyss. He is to, if I acknowledge him, cool.
It needs to be blocked on sight. How many fucking times have we been through this? Blocking me and unblocking me, letting me up on panel, blah, 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 like day in and day out. It's never going to end with you. It's never going to end with you.
I'm really, I mean, unless he dies, I'm probably not going to cover anything he does because that shit last night made me sick.
No, you will continue to cover everything that I do. Every single fucking thing that I do. Because you have no other content.
To my fucking stomach. And I had remembered everybody, even that little fucking skinny little prick, saying, well, you couldn't change it.
You gonna get to the review, or are you gonna keep whining like a bitch?
But no, he's gonna go full out and be like, "Hey guys, guess what I'm thinking about?"
What?
He goes full incel, saying that he doesn't care if women are scared of him. Says he doesn't care what women think. It's because he's getting pussy. If the dude gets a pussy, he probably wouldn't be so weird, or he'd probably kill the bitch.
No, I have already, and just because I have doesn't mean that I have to care what people think of me. That has nothing to do with it. I don't care about anybody's opinions of me, whether I get laid or not. That is irrelevant.
I'm thinking.
Automatically, every fucking time. And it's not just me, okay? I'm sure it's been the same way, you know, with other men too. Oh, he thinks this way about a woman? That means he doesn't get laid. No. A lot of people just don't care about the opinions of another person. It is what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he is a weird motherfucker. And just out of nowhere, he's like, where was that even mentioned at? Anywhere.
It don't have to be mentioned. It don't have to be mentioned. Don't have to be mentioned. All you fucking do is talk about kids. All you do is talk about kids. That's going to make people think that you have fantasies about doing things to children. You don't want people to think that. Don't talk about kids.
In that stream, when, where, how, why? Why was that in your head? Fuck you, dude. You're a weirdo. We're going to talk about Los Angeles a little bit today.
I don't care
about a lot of stuff because
I could care less about what's going on in LA. Let me skip ahead.
I'm a dictum. Yep, I'm a big old dictum.
Stolen tombstone cash. Yeah, everyone is the problem but you. Bags should be free to be racist, revenge porn, grift, lie, and act a dictum. What even is a dictum?
There we go. I am cock the dictum. But like, yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Let's go.
2 hours for them to come get there. and Mayor Bass blocked those law enforcement officers from coming and helping my officers and agents.
That is absurd. That is absurd. This is what I'm saying. Men aren't men anymore. Those officers should have said, no, we're going to go get our guys. In the military, they do that. They run out and open fire and drag their friends back to wherever the hell they were. They don't just leave them out there. You know what I'm saying? And the Los Angeles Police Department left 40 people trapped while a bunch of hoodlums who probably just take estrogen for fun were outside throwing things and assaulting people and doing all kinds of stuff. It was a good night in LA. I love it. Reminds me of Rodney King. Yeah. Memories. Remember when OJ got away with murder because they didn't want any riots in LA? And that's a fact.
Absolutely disgusting. It shouldn't happen in the United States.
I didn't say anything about race. I just told you it happened.
Comes on the heels, Director Lyons, of the San Diego City Councilman, Sean.
Because people have been very patient. And I told
Okay.
acts of violence, they've proven this time.
Hang on.
Hung out with them and almost tick with money. I mean, what happened? Oh, no. My. I didn't get any election money. I didn't even vote. I was on the couch when my back went out.
Oh yeah, on the couch. Did you get more kratom?
I woke up and I couldn't move. So I took my prescribed medication and laid on the couch all day so I could get to work the next day. That's what I did. So I didn't vote for anybody. So if you want to be mad at somebody, you go out and pick somebody else to be mad at about Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So what? A foundation got money from a billionaire. And Biden's entire family was on the take. So that what? This is Russ right here. This is Russ. We're about to review you, buddy.
Exactly, yeah. Negz trapped in a closet, yeah. Yeah, what is your obsession with men? Russ is your new tragic. You were obsessed with that guy for years and wanted him. Oh, your poor back, sad little princess. Exactly.
We're about to review you, little buddy. I'm still curious why you randomly blurted that out, though, because it really fucking made everybody sick.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was like, okay, this dude has got some fucked up shit going on in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know Canada. Canada's got their own problems, right? The U.S., we got our own problems, right? Listen, I don't fucking care what pops off. I know who my tribe is. I know what I'm doing. I know how to handle myself. And I guess you could say that I'm, prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen it, this country becoming more and more destabilized. And that's why there was a big hole punched in the fucking border, and millions of people, including rapists and murderers, who did come here and rape and murder. Nobody wants to acknowledge that, well, because they weren't the ones that got raped and murdered. Now, hey, Russ is a cool guy. He just fantasizes about it, right? All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, get to it already.
Ready to hear the closeted gay dude? I mean, he thinks I'm having a fantasy about him.
I don't think that you're having a fantasy about me. I know you're having a fantasy about me.
Let me tell you this before we even get into this. This is something he wants. This is just like him blurting that out. It's all rejection. This is something he wants. He thought of this last night. He was. I can't wait I already know you probably said some weird shit.
No, I don't want it. You want to know what I do want? You want to know what I do want? Is you off the internet. That's what I want.
I can't wait to hear the weird.
Okay, hello again, everybody.
You're so fucking.
Dear old Rustical, the Rusty, back with yet another response. Okay, so
One thing, let's in the chat. Let's agree to disagree and not block, and just not block people just because we disagree. Just agree to disagree. Move on. We're reviewing a guy who has actual fantasies of raping women or watching them get raped. So this is like basically watching, Ted Bundy.
There was more incoherent mumbling. Ted Bundy done earlier. You're comparing me to Ted Bundy when there's no victims. There's no victims. There are literally no murder victims of mine. He actually committed the crimes. I haven't killed anyone. I know people think that I did. I know some people probably think that I did, but I haven't. You know why? Because despite what everybody wants to assume, and despite what everybody has always assumed about me, I'm not the type of person to harm anyone at all. Because Negz now believes, right, that I somehow have admitted to being a homosexual, right?
No. Well, I mean, I think you are. But are you going to bring up the thing you did?
This is how the what? Unbelievably retarded that this man is. Yeah. And what's the other thing that I did? What did I do now? So let's see. All right. Illusionist Rebel Russ has demented SA fantasies as being gay as a mental illness.
Yep.
And let me clarify that I did not say at any point that I thought that being gay was a mental illness.
Yeah, you did. You went on my mental illness and you equated it to me being a homosexual.
No. N-O. Wrong.
So don't sit here and pretend that you didn't say something that you did, because you did, and everybody's getting real tired of it.
Next, I said that I thought that you had a mental illness. You got? I don't give a fuck if people are tired of it or if they're not. How about that? You got that? You got that?
I got it. That's not what you said in all your shit you were doing. You said all kinds of stuff. Like you had this projection. Yeah, I mean, you were like, oh, dude, I don't even know what kind of drugs you were doing yesterday, but they weren't good ones.
Uh-huh.
We're back. Minor technical difficulty. No big deal.
Why don't you just shut the whole entire show down? You'd be better off.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good. By the way, you guys super chat or Cash App is down there. I appreciate it.
Have to come back.
Mm-hmm.
What a ridiculous. Hey Joe, put it through like a search and see how many times somebody brought up kid. Because these people always coming in and are like, kids and children. All I think about is kids and children. I want to be in a park right now.
Oh.
Ridiculous. They like speaking well, scouts you and all that.
I could care less if you gouge your own eyes out. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get to Bridget. Okay, here we go. All right. So Bridget did another thing earlier. Girl World True Crime, Episode 3, Jess the Jester's Courtroom Circus. Okay. Based on a true story, the story of Jess the Jester.
So what happens when your name keeps popping up on court dockets? Time after time after time. Well, let's talk about this woman from Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call her Jess the Jester. Jess is in her 30s. She's got quite a few legal stories to tell, from housing disputes to DUIs to custody battles and a mountain of credit card debt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a one-woman legal saga, and it all starts with one word: eviction. Back in 2022, Jess found herself at the center of an eviction case brought on by the Housing Authority. You know, the government agency that runs Section 8 housing, where tenants pay a reduced rent based on their income. They weren't there to check on her garden. They claimed she'd stopped paying rent, and the numbers they gave were nothing to sneeze at. Over $1,100 in back rent. And get this, the rent was only $472 a month. Less than the price of most car payments.
Wow.
But somehow, it was still too much to keep up with.
So on June 10th, 2022, the Housing Authority had a state marshal serve Jess with a notice to quit possession, basically telling her she had until July 10th to pack up and leave. And when that date came and went, she was still there. So they dragged her to court. In court, the Housing Authority laid it all out. They leased her an apartment back in 2012, probably thinking she'd pay the rent. But now in 2022, they said she stopped paying, and they wanted her out. They even attached a lease agreement as evidence. And let's be honest, it was like the receipts were stacked a mile high.
Oh, great.
Jess didn't go down without a fight, though. She filed an answer in court, checking boxes, raising defenses, and even claiming the Housing Authority had problems with maintenance and notices. She was arguing every angle she could. But guess what? The court sided with the Housing Authority. The judge issued a judgment of possession, non-payment of rent. Another blow in Jess's legal odyssey. After losing her home, Jess had no choice but to move back with her mother. A hard reset that came with its own share of complications. She'd gone from independent living to sharing a roof with her mom again, adding tension to an already chaotic life.
DUI
While
arrest.
all that was happening, Jess had other things brewing too, like a DUI arrest that really took things to another level. It happened on June 7th, 2022. Jess was driving, but she wasn't driving too well. According to the charges, she couldn't stay in her lane, drifting over the line not once, but twice. And that's not all. Police said she was operating under the influence of alcohol and drugs, meaning she was either buzzed or high behind the wheel. When police pulled her over, they charged her with failure to drive in the proper lane, twice, and with operating a motor vehicle under the influence. At her arraignment, Jess pled not guilty, but court records show she later agreed to a plea deal, a fine, mandatory DUI education program, and a license suspension. The judge even warned her that another offense could lead to time in jail. The paperwork shows she was booked, fingerprinted, and released, but with a cloud of legal trouble hanging over her head. And for someone already juggling so many court cases, this was like pouring gasoline on a fire. And if that wasn't enough, Jess was also drowning in credit card debt. Debt buyers, the kind that buy up old credit card accounts for pennies on the dollar, came knocking. They sued her for every last dime, plus interest and court costs. In one case, the court ordered her to pay over $600, plus make weekly payments of $35 to chip away at the balance. And that was just one of many cases. Other debt collectors filed complaints with case numbers and affidavits of debt showing she owed money on accounts that had been sold to third-party collectors. Jess filed handwritten letters, often claiming she was unable to pay because of her financial hardship, but the courts didn't buy it.
Custody battle.
And then there was the custody battle. Jess and one of the men she'd been with, we'll call him baby daddy number one, were locked in a bitter fight over their child. Who would get primary custody? Who would make the big decisions? Who would get the final say? The case started with a custody application in 2017, but it didn't end there. Court orders, emergency motions, parent affidavits, financial disclosures. Jess claimed she could provide a better home, while baby daddy number one pushed back with his own arguments. There were parenting plans, court orders for participation in parenting education classes, and even motions for contempt when things got heated. At one point, Jess even filed for an emergency ex parte order of custody. That's the legal equivalent of hitting the panic button, asking the judge to grant her temporary custody without telling baby daddy number one first, because she claimed there was an immediate risk to the child. The court can issue that kind of order in extreme cases, but it's serious business, and the judge has to weigh the risk of harm before granting it. But the court didn't just hand out decisions. It was a back and forth with order after order, motion after motion, contempt citations, and court appearances that dragged on for months. Jess submitted financial affidavits hoping to show she could support the child on her own. But her financial troubles, with all that credit card debt, didn't help her case. And after all that fighting, Jess lost. The judge awarded custody to baby daddy number one.
Oh, great.
And Jess, after lying down in court, she decided to get back at her baby's daddy by lying down with his brother. Talk about family feud. And get this, baby daddy number one wasn't the only father Jess had tangled with in court. She also went after, let's call him baby daddy number two, another father for child support. In 2016, the court ordered him to pay up to help cover the cost of raising the child. The case included a petition for support, and the judge issued a judgment of support, another chapter in Jesse's messy saga. And through it all,
Wow.
Jess was representing herself. No lawyer to help navigate the legal maze, just her, a stack of court forms, and a determination to fight to the end. Gutsy? Maybe. Risky? Definitely. Now, why am I telling you this story about Jess and her never-ending legal odyssey? Because here's the
I have that question for you, Bridget. Why? I've never heard of her before.
thing. Sometimes in life, trouble follows you. Or sometimes, and this is just a theory, you kind of bring it on yourself. And Jess, she's the poster child for that theory.
So here's where we are. Jess is bouncing from court case to court case, from housing to DUI to credit cards to custody battles, fighting for everything she can. And while most of us are lucky enough to never see the inside of a courtroom, Jess is practically a regular. It's like a one-woman true crime saga unfolding in slow motion. And if there's one thing Jess's story teaches us, it's that sometimes life is stranger and messier than fiction. So stay tuned, because with Jess the Jester, you know the next chapter is coming. And with all those cases in Connecticut, there's no telling what's next.
Hold on.
No,
What does that
the
say?
next chapter is coming. And with all those cases in Connecticut, there's no telling what's next.
Okay, this story was a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons living or dead is purely coincidental. All right. So yeah, and as for the claim of, Negz made Russ relevant. I was relevant way before I figured out who Negz and DC even were. And if you all want to know why that is, you can go ahead and take a look at all of my older content. I did, moderately well in terms of viewership back in the day, like years ago. So I didn't need to get into the back and forth that I got into with him in order to get viewers. But it happened, and I can't change the fact that it happened. So, yeah, it's over with. It's in the past. And I will see you guys later. Bye.